Shen Yue warns Miles Wei. She finally admits her heart has always belonged to Dylan Wang. If you think you already know the story between Shen Yue, Dylan Wang and Miles Wei, then you are not ready for what you are about to hear, because this chapter is the most unexpected twist yet. And before we go deep into this emotional storm, make sure you hit the subscribe button now, because what you are about to discover will leave you shocked, thrilled, and unable to look away. This is not just a story. This is the moment the truth finally breaks free. The world thought Shen Yue had moved on. The world thought she had outgrown the whispers and the quiet glances she used to share with Dylan Wang. Fans believed she had closed that chapter, sealed it shut, and started rebuilding a softer, quieter life far from the emotional chaos that followed her everywhere. But no one knew what was really happening behind the cameras. No one imagined that her silence was not peace but pressure. Hidden pressure. Silent pressure. And the moment she could no longer carry it all alone was the moment everything exploded. It all began on a warm afternoon in Shanghai. Shen Yue had just finished a long day on set, and all she wanted was a quiet ride home. She slipped into the back of a black car, ready to disappear into the soft glow of the evening, when her phone lit up with a message she never thought would come. It was from Miles Wei. He typed her name once. Then again. Then again. As if the letters themselves refused to stay inside him. Shen Yue ignored it at first. She assumed it was another friendly invitation. Another casual conversation. But then the next message appeared. It was not friendly. It was confrontational. It was personal. Miles had heard rumors. Rumors that Shen Yue had been secretly meeting Dylan Wang again. Rumors that she had been visiting studios where Dylan was filming a new project. Rumors that made Miles feel threatened in a way he had never experienced before. Shen Yue read the message 3 times. Her chest tightened. Her pulse jumped. She knew she had avoided this moment for too long. She had tried to stay neutral. She had tried to stay gentle. But sometimes even kindness runs out. She called him immediately. Miles picked up on the first ring. His voice was breathless and sharp. He demanded answers. He wanted to know why she was distant. Why she stopped responding. Why she never explained where she went. Why she kept dodging questions. But the question he was afraid to ask was the one that was hanging between them like a heavy curtain. Was she still in love with Dylan Wang? Shen Yue closed her eyes. She inhaled slowly. And for the first time in a very long time, she allowed herself to stop pretending. She allowed the truth to rise. Miles, she said softly, you need to stop. You need to stop coming closer. You need to stop expecting something that will never happen. Because my heart has never left the place it was meant to be. It has always belonged to Dylan Wang. Miles froze. The phone went silent. Not even the faintest breath could be heard. And Shen Yue continued. I do not want you to get hurt. I do not want misunderstandings. I do not want false hope. I care about you as a friend, but that is all. And you must back away from me because I cannot give you what you want. Miles whispered her name almost as if he could not believe what he was hearing. He tried to choke out a response, but his throat trembled. He asked her why. He asked her how. He asked her when. And Shen Yue finally released the truth she had been suffocating for years. It was always Dylan, she said. Even when we were young and confused. Even when life separated us. Even when people created rumors. Even when we had to pretend for the cameras. Even when we chose different paths. My heart stayed with him. It never moved. Her voice trembled, but she did not break. She stood in the middle of the parking lot staring into the night lights as if confessing her truth to the universe itself. She explained that the connection between her and Dylan was not something that could be erased or replaced. It was not something that faded with time. It was deeper than friendship, softer than silence, stronger than distance. It was a bond carved quietly between them without needing words. Miles tried to push back. He reminded her of all their conversations, all their laughter, all the gentle moments they had when the cameras were off. But Shen Yue remained firm. gentle but unshakable. She told him she could never build a future based on pretending. She told him she could not give him love because her heart was already taken long before he ever stepped into the picture. The night wind blew softly around her as she ended the call. She felt a weight lift from her chest. For the first time she felt clear. She felt honest. She felt free. But the story only grew bigger from there. Hours later someone leaked the conversation. Not the audio but the details. Private details. Emotional details. The entire entertainment industry erupted. The internet went into flames. Fans were stunned. Miles remained silent. But Dylan reacted in a way no one expected. He posted one line. One single line. No tags. No mentions. No drama. Some truths do not need words. The world froze. Fans screamed. And Shen Yue, who saw the post minutes after it went live, felt her heart burst inside her. Not with fear. Not with shame. But with the kind of warm trembling joy she had been holding back for far too long. She whispered to herself so softly that only the night could hear. It has always been you too. And with that one quiet moment her heart finally settled into the place it had always belonged. The studio lights dimmed as the day wrapped to a silent close, yet the echoes of Shen Yue's confession still lingered in the air. Crew members walked past whispering softly, stealing glances at her with a mixture of surprise and respect. She had spoken her truth, clearly and bravely, and the moment replayed in her mind like a scene from a movie she never knew she was acting in. Shen Yue walked through the back corridor alone, her steps slow and thoughtful, her heart still beating with the weight of everything she had said to Miles Wei. The words she used were not loud, not cruel, not dramatic. They were honest. Honest in a way that stripped every mask from her past. Honest in a way that could not be taken back. I was always in love with Dylan. My heart was never yours. Those words repeated in her mind like a soft echo. A breeze drifted through the open hallway window, carrying the faint sound of night traffic. She stopped and took a long quiet breath. For the first time in months, she felt free. Free from the rumors, free from the triangle, free from the weight of pretending she did not care. Her heart knew where it belonged. It always had. As she reached the exit door, she saw someone standing under the soft glow of the street lamp. Shoulders relaxed. Hands in pockets. Head slightly lowered as if lost in thought. Her heart skipped, then raced. Because she knew that silhouette anywhere. Dylan Wang lifted his eyes slowly, and in that moment the world seemed to stop moving. You told him, he said quietly. His voice was soft but steady, holding 1,000 emotions. Shen Yue nodded, her breath catching for a second. I had to, she said. It was time. I could not keep running from the truth. Not from him. And not from you. Dylan took a step closer, then another, until he was standing right in front of her. There was no tension, no confusion, just a warm and powerful emotion between them that neither could hide anymore. He reached out, not to pull her, not to hold her, but simply to let his fingers brush against hers. That tiny touch felt like an entire story being told without a single spoken word. You do not know how long I have waited to hear you say that, he whispered. And you do not know how long I have wanted to say it, she replied. A soft smile touched his lips, the kind that only appears when something deeply real finally comes to the surface. The air around them felt warm, even under the night sky, and the glow from the street lamp made everything feel cinematic, as if the universe itself was filming their moment. Dylan exhaled softly. Do you regret saying it? No, she said without hesitation. Because my heart has always been yours. Even in silence. Even in confusion. Even when the world tried to tell us otherwise. For a moment neither of them spoke. They simply stood there in the quiet night, listening to the sound of their breathing blending together. It felt unreal yet undeniable. A connection that no rumor could shake, no misunderstanding could break, no distance could weaken. Dylan finally broke the stillness. Then let us stop hiding from it. From us. Let us stop pretending this is just friendship or chemistry or coincidence. I am tired of silence, he said softly. I want something real with you. No cameras. No rumors. Just us. Shen Yue felt her heart melt at every word. Her eyes softened as she stepped closer until they were almost touching. She rested her forehead lightly against his chest, feeling his heartbeat steady and warm. I want the same, she whispered. I always have. Dylan gently lifted her chin, his touch light and careful as if she were made of the softest glass. Their eyes met, full of unspoken promises, unspoken fears, unspoken longing that had been building for years. The world around them disappeared. There were no fans, no cameras, no pressure. Just two people finally acknowledging the truth their hearts had always carried. He pulled her gently into an embrace, slow and deep and protective. And she melted into him without hesitation. It was not dramatic. It was not loud. It was real. And sometimes real is louder than anything else. As they held each other under the night sky, a quiet vow formed between them. A vow that began long before words were spoken. A vow that was finally allowed to live. No more pretending. No more silence. No more running. Whatever tomorrow brings, they would face it together. When they finally pulled apart, Dylan brushed her hair softly behind her ear and whispered the only thing that mattered now. I am here. And I am not going anywhere. Shen Yue smiled with a gentle strength that only love can create. Good, she said. Because neither am I. And with that, they walked away side by side into the quiet night, their steps perfectly in sync, their hearts finally free and united. A love that survived rumors and warnings. A love that refused to be denied. A love that was always meant to be. DyShen, unshaken. DyShen, undeniable. DyShen, finally real.